Hello. So I, for some reason, decided to do that challenge that people do, replacing their screen time with reading time. I do actually have to use my phone a fair amount at work, like Google Maps and that sort of thing, so I'm not using my total screen time, but I am going to try to do my Instagram time. And so these are my totals. These are from last week. So today, just Tuesday, 4 hours and 4 minutes. Wednesday, 3 hours and 21 minutes. Thursday, 3 hours and 8 minutes. Friday, 3 hours and 30 minutes. Saturday, 1 hour and 49 minutes. Sunday, 2 hours and 41 minutes. And Monday, 2 hours and 54 minutes. So before you get judgmental, don't. But in all fairness, sometimes when I'm at work, I will open Instagram and I will start a video or something, and then it will just be sitting on my desk and I'll just be listening to it while I'm doing other things. So that might not be completely accurate, but anyway, regardless, I just thought this would be a fun challenge, a fun way to make myself read a little bit more over the course of this week. I do have some books that I really want to finish. For the days that there are more than 3 hours, I do want to spend at least three of those hours reading in Spanish, and then the rest can be in English. So the books that are kind of my TBR, I have La Casa de los Espíritus by Isabel Allende. I am about 65% through this. I have La ridícula idea de no volver a verte, and this one I am halfway through. And then on my e-reader, I am reading La flor y la muerte, and that one I am about 45% through, I think. And then also the English book that I'm reading is Boy Parts by Eliza Clark on this as well. It is already 5 p.m. and so I pretty much need to read from now until when I go to bed. So we will see how that goes. I do want to try to read the actual amount on the actual day, but if I miss it, I'll just add that time to another day. I'm not trying to make myself miserable here. So anyway, I think I'm going to start. I'm going to try to start with an hour and a half of La Casa de los Espíritus, and then maybe an hour of La Flor y la Muerte and half an hour of the Rosa Montero. I don't know. We'll see. Hello. It is now like 8:40, 9 o'clock, somewhere around there. I am running out of steam. I only have 2 hours and almost 2.5 hours in so far. I read an hour of La Casa de los Espíritus, so I am not too far from finishing it. I mean, I still have like 4.5 hours, but you know, relatively speaking. And then I read an hour and a half of this, actually, which I was very surprised about, but I almost have finished this week's reading, which it's only Tuesday. So this is the book club book. I don't think I mentioned that. My brain is fried. So I will probably just try to finish this. Not right now, but this week, even though technically there's one more week of the book club, but I'm just kind of getting the urge to like clear out my reading, you know, like be done with all my current reads. So anyway, I am probably going to read half an hour of La Flor y la Muerte, and then I don't know that I will try to actually get to 4 hours. I am not going to stay up late to do this. I'm just not. I have to go to work very early, and so yeah. My dedication has limits, and that limit is sacrificing sleep, I think. So, yeah. Just finished La Casa de los Espíritus. But at what cost? It's so good. So good. One of the best books I've ever read, I think. Very sad, especially in the part that I read today, especially in the part that I put myself through today. It is Thursday, I think the third day. There's a helicopter outside. I don't know if you can hear that. And I have not been keeping up, which is fine. I will just try to make it up on the weekend. But the first day I was supposed to have 4 hours and 4 minutes, and I had 3 hours and 3 minutes. The second day I was supposed to have 3 hours and 21 minutes, and I had 2 hours and 10 minutes. I just was not feeling it yesterday. Today I'm supposed to have 3 hours and 8 minutes. And I think right now I have about 2.5 hours, so I should still be able to make that happen. I think I'm going to read some more of my book in English and then continue with Spanish tomorrow. So yeah, anyway. Good morning. It is Saturday morning. Let me get my times here. Yesterday, I did do the full day, so yesterday was the second highest day that I had, 3 hours and 30 minutes, and I did read for 3 hours and 33 minutes. I finished Boy Parts by Eliza Clark. I was kind of gonna just read a little bit of that, and then I really got into it and I wanted to just finish it, and then I read a little bit of my 2 Spanish books that I have left as well. But today is Saturday and I only have an hour and 49 minutes on the list, but I do want to make up at least one of the days from previously. But I do have plans today. I'm going to get brunch and do some book browsing with my sisters. I think I have like an hour probably before I need to get ready to go. I'm probably going to read this. I may be able to finish it before we leave, but yeah. Hello. I just got out of the shower. It is Sunday evening. It is like 5:15. And I am in trouble. So it's the 6th day. So to catch up today, I would need to read 4 hours and 50 minutes. I have read an hour and 25 minutes so far. And then tomorrow I need to read 2 hours and 54 minutes. So I really can't make up very much time tomorrow probably. So I really do kind of need to read 4 hours and 50 minutes today. So that means I need to read 3.5 hours right now, which is theoretically doable. Whether it is practically doable or not, time will tell. So I did finish Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute this morning. That was the hour and 25 minutes this morning. Let me grab it. So this was, in fact, Unfairly Cute. Very adorable. I really don't like romance at all, but I'm trying to like branch out, and I did enjoy this a lot. So if you like romance at all or are trying to get into it, then I highly recommend. But the only book that I have left on my currently reading is La Flor y la Muerte. That is our mission today, should we choose to accept. So I'm gonna get reading. Okay. It is Monday, the last day. I'm back at home. I had to drop my car off to get the headlights replaced, so I will have to walk back and get that at some point, but hopefully I can finish the time for today, which is 3 hours and 26 minutes. I almost caught up yesterday, but I had like half an hour that was still behind, but we should be able to do it. It should be no problem. I only have about 2 hours left of La Flor y la Muerte, so I will have to start another book. I think I will do an arc. So anyway, I'm gonna get busy. Hello! So I just went to start editing this video and I realized that I never filmed the end of this video. For the last day, I finished La Flor y la Muerte, which I really enjoyed. I don't know if I mentioned this, but it was way too long. Like, it was like 18 hours or something like that for the audiobook, and there just wasn't enough, like, things happening to justify that length, but I really liked it. And so there are 2 more books in the series. I just scared the absolute crap out of myself. Oh my god. Okay, so there are 2 more books in the series out, and so I will probably be reading those at some point as well. But then I started an arc that I had for the center, which is also actually a language learning adjacent themed book. And it was very, very interesting, very weird and disturbing. That is not coming out until like July, I think. Anyway, so I really thought that this challenge was not going to be that difficult because, you know, it was like 21 hours, and the last time I did the 40 hours in 7 days language challenge, I did like 35, almost 36 hours. And so I was like, 21 hours doesn't seem that bad, and I can do stuff in English too. But this was actually quite difficult because I think I was not accounting for how much of the 35 hours was not reading, you know, like I did read a lot, but not 21 hours worth. So, you know, that's like over 3 hours a day, and it felt like over 3 hours a day. Like, it was doable. I don't think logistically doing too much more than this would have been doable, but it was. But I found my eyes getting really tired, my brain getting really tired, but I actually loved doing this challenge because I really like reignited my love of reading. Like, it was kind of already on its way up. You know, I think all hobbies have kind of peaks and lows, and so I was already kind of like go on an upturn. It helps that it's springtime and I hate the winter. This really like pushed me up into a peak with reading, so that is great. I love that, and so I hope that I can continue to ride that wave of happy reading for quite some time. So I think that this is a cool challenge to try, or, you know, modify it in some way if you want to. Certainly I think using only like your problem app or couple of apps is probably the more sustainable way to do it, unless you do have pretty low screen time. I do not, so so thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.